the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. Nod my head, don't close my eyes, halfway on a slow move, it's the same way you showed me.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Ash Ish. Let me talk to y'all about something that I feel strongly about. Conflict resolution, okay? And it does not have to be peer-to-peer. Sometimes it's just you to you. Sometimes it's resolving the conflict as far as you can. So now that I'm entering my fourth of my 5 nursing school semesters, I realized that if nothing else was consistent while I was in nursing school, it was having issues with women. Sounds crazy, but no, not too far-fetched. It's not. Will you have issues with women everywhere you go? Probably, yeah. Will they be consistent? Probably, hopefully not. But if it's anything like my situation, you just got to be one of those people who always get back up. Because I have been knocked down so many times, or they've tried to knock me down so many times going through this program. So let me tell you what worked for me. First, I learned that a lot of times when somebody is being mean, rude to you, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It just doesn't. It has nothing to do with you. So knowing that they're literally projecting things like a child does, who may not be able to understand abstract ideas and interpret the feelings and emotions of others, how can you even take it personally? How can you? So once I realized that the way you're treating me is not really how you feel about me, it's how you feel about you or something that you are experiencing in your life, I know how to disassociate myself from the situation, because I'm merely just a target. And I don't have to allow you to use me for target practice, especially when I have something bigger and better going on right in front of you. Now, remember that you could easily be on either side of what I'm saying right now. So if you're going to be on the side that's looking for something to practice, like target practice with, understand that the energy that you are using to project your emotions, your feelings, your experiences onto others could have been used to keep your grades at a certain level, or to read a little more, or practice those skills, or develop your nursing process, or do some clinical research so that you can become the best nurse that you could be. So the next time you decide that you have something going on and you want to bring it to class, don't. Unless it means that you're going to sit on the front row, answer all the questions, even the ones that you don't feel that sure about. All types of stuff like that. Other than that, you just one of those people that I just hurdled over in the program, because I'm like this. Hoop. Yeah, like if you knew my story, you would be like, oh my goodness. But yep, I'm almost done. It has been such a journey. So that's my first thing. Learn how to disassociate yourself and detach yourself from situations where people seem to attack you in any type of way, educationally, emotionally, socially, because there are some women who literally practice, they condition themselves for nurse bullying, and not in a way where they're trying to protect themselves. It's in a way where they're hoarding up, they're cohorting up to become those nurse bullies. So you have to understand that they are probably most likely vibrating on a frequency that you don't want anything to do with, and you need to accelerate and elevate yourself. Then the other thing that I was like, okay, you're not gonna get around this, is reading. Sometimes I would hear other girls saying stuff like, oh, like, don't, like, I'm not about to keep on trying to do all of this work for all of these classes. I'm going to pick one subject and I'm going to focus on that one. And then the other ones, I'm going to just like BS through for this week or for these next 3 days. In my experience, it just doesn't work. If you have carrots and tomatoes and lettuce and cucumbers all in the same garden, you can't decide because you want to do other things that suddenly you want to only spend most of the time gardening the cucumbers and then be mad when you don't have everything you need at the end to actually produce a good harvest. You have to give everything the equal amount of energy that it needs to actually show great growth. And it takes expertise. You have to know your subject. It takes that. And if you don't know your subject that well, learn your subject. And guess what that takes? Yeah, you hear me, time. It takes time. It takes effort. So sometimes, honey, you just can't go smoke today. You just can't go smoke this weekend. You just can't go to the club. You can't stay up and watch that show on Netflix. You just can't. You just can't spend all of that time scrolling on Instagram. It's just the way it is. Then the other thing outside of that is, I mean, on top of the reading, on top of the making sure, and it's not about me having thick skin, it's about me understanding that you got issues that you ain't worked out yourself, and they have absolutely nothing to do with you. So what I need to do is operate like an adult who has emotional intelligence and realize that you are just not where I am yet. So sometimes for me to even hold a conversation with you about your actions is completely useless because you don't understand yet. You don't understand yet. And because you're not anybody that I love, I'm just saying it. It just may not be worth my time right now to try to explain your wrongdoings because I can't just explain it to you and you understand. Because the concept is too complicated for you right now. So I first have to explain the concept to you. I have to educate you. And because you already have a certain amount of animosity towards me, no matter how I try to educate you, you are not in a position to receive it. And with that being said, I am in nursing school as a student to be better for the people that I love and that love me, so that I can give a part of my energy to others as a necessity for all of us to continue. So again, it's not about having thick skin. It's about having emotional intelligence and understanding that you two are just not the same. So if somebody treats you bad in nursing school, guess what? They didn't know you before this program and they don't know you now. You don't bring your life and your issues or whatever you got going on to school because a lot of times people are going to use it as ammo. It doesn't matter. And I know it sounds like it's crazy and like I'm trying to make things like way worse and bigger than they are, but this is reality for me, okay? Don't know if it's the same for you, but people will tell you in my school, you can hear a pin drop in the room with her. I'm totally silent. I'll come in and I'll say hello and I'll leave it at that because I'm dealing with those types of students. If you go to nursing school and you find friends and you make friends and people that you can study with and people that you can vent to who keep your secrets under lock and key and who try to help you up out of whatever rut you end up in, because anything that will happen to you in nursing school, more power to you. Like, good job. Like, I wish I had that. So this is not me saying that what happened to me is just going to happen to everybody, because it's not true. But I'm just telling you what happens to me and how I deal with it, because I'm still dealing with it every day. Even in a clinical setting, I have issues with some of these students. So like I said, emotional intelligence is very important. You have to be mature enough to deal with people, really. And I don't know if that means thick skin. Some people may interpret it that way. I think it's just a matter of patience and not necessarily with them, but with yourself. Because you have to be patient with yourself to not even go up the ticking ladder so that you can continue to communicate with somebody that you already know you don't speak the same language as. Reading, like I said, very important. You just got to read. You cannot pick and choose which subject you are going to decide to focus on. It's not fair, okay? It's just not that type of relationship. You got to treat these subjects like your babies, just like you would in a garden, like the analogy I used a few minutes ago. You have to do it. You have to. So if you know for a fact that you have your syllabus and it's in front of you and you realize, okay, I have 10 chapters to read this week. It's Monday. I'm going to read 2 chapters a day. 2 chapters a day. I don't care how you get them in, you get them in. And then it still leaves room in the same day to focus on another subject because you're not trying to cram 10 chapters into one day. But it also gives you the satisfaction of your progression and your determination and your consistency towards reaching your goal. I think that it's more important to create bigger goals and then create medium goals from those bigger goals and smaller goals from those medium goals, and then like microscopic goals that may take you about 15 minutes, and then making to-do lists, checking them off because you don't have no idea how satisfying it is to check that box, and then rewarding yourself. Okay, don't forget to reward yourself. Something about nursing school just beats you up in general. So reward yourself when you reach those microscopic goals, because once you reach enough of those, you'll reach those small goals. And once you reach enough of those, you'll reach your medium goals. And once you reach enough of those, you may be the president of the student nurse organization for every semester that you have the ability to be the president of the student nurse organization with the most solid resume that you could imagine, job offers before you even graduate, and the person giving the speech when you graduate. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I'm just saying that you have to have some type of imagination. You have to be able to visualize yourself farther than you are now in order to be comfortable with where you are now, because you know then that there is always room for you to put one foot in front of the other because you didn't limit yourself to a box. There's a whole bunch of everything out there. It's a whole bunch of nothing, but we're not going to focus on that. There's a whole bunch of everything out there. So take yourself out of the box so you can always put one foot in front of the other and continue to progress. And my last thing that was like, okay, if you had to give advice to anybody about anything as far as nursing school goes, what would the advice be? Take it personally. Period. Take nursing school personally. Because it's going to be days where you like, I don't need this. I don't need this. And it may have absolutely nothing to do with nursing as a curriculum or the patients. It could literally just be the fact that you are just emotionally drained, mentally drained, physically drained, financially drained, because it's very hard to work a full-time job and be in nursing school. But you have to put it into perspective, like, this is going to help me, if nothing else. I always envision something like when I'm driving on the road, on the freeway, and the freeway is backed up like crazy, and you get closer to the issue that had everybody backed up in the first place, and there's this huge accident. And while you are not required to be a first responder as a pedestrian just passing by, you'd have the ability to be. You could save a life. You know, I handle my family different, my children different. I handle myself different now that I've learned the things I learned. I try not to give unsolicited, like unrequested advice, but it's hard when you know that you have the ability to help people. You know things that can help them. So I would take it personally. If you don't want to get anything else out of this, or if you don't think, hey, even if I become a nurse, I'll never be able to pay my loans. Yeah, but you may save so many lives that the money just won't matter anymore. But honey, you'll be making money. Trust me, there's always money for nurses. So I'm going to my 4th semester, guns blazing. I'm talking about combat boots strapped up. Am I ready for a fight? No, I'm not. But I'm a soldier. And this is what we do. So I've already started reading chapters. I want to do a video about what I've read already because it's interesting to me and it ties in a lot into a lot of the things that I do and I love already, like in life. So I want to do that. I'll probably do that. I don't know. I might do later today, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But definitely I want to start like just breaking it down because it's a lot of information and I just want to make sure that I maintain the success that I have been having. I mean, we can excel it too, but I just want to start at what has already been working for me. And it has been emotional intelligence, removing myself from the situation, reading, rewarding myself for the small goals that I have been setting, and then taking the entire experience personally. And I feel like I've had nothing but rewards like throughout the whole thing. I can't wait to wear my white again. I can't. So I will talk to y'all soon. I think, let's see what time it is. I gotta get ready to get out of here. So I will talk to you guys later. I am going to put down below an article that I think that you should read. Just something that I found interesting. It might not have anything to do with anything, but I liked it. So follow me on all my social medias and look forward to future videos. This video and videos like these will be on Thursdays getting posted, while the videos that have more to do with maternal issues and children, babies, breastfeeding, mommy stuff, that type of thing will be more, that'll all happen on Tuesdays. So you can expect more consistency from me as far as the videos go. If you have any comments, any questions about anything, or if you have any type of content you want me to cover, then you just need to put it in the comments below and then I'll get to it when I can, because I do have a lot of stuff that I'm going to post anyway. So maybe I'll slide it in there before I slide in one of the other videos that I already had planned for like this whole series. In the meantime and in between time, drink your water, water your plants, because we one and the same. It's all a circle, And like I said, have an imagination. Don't put yourself inside a box, because boxes limit where you can go. And you want to always make sure you can put one foot in front of the other. Okay? Bye, y'all. Until next time, this is Ashes with Ash-ish.